This video is brought to you by Osmocote, the planter's plant food.
Hello, I'm Dean Gluesenkamp here at Designscape Horticultural Services in Nashville, Indiana. And today I want to show you some perennials and shrubs that are in the growing process. This happens to be a winterberry holly called Berry Nice. It's just now getting the berries that will turn red for this winter on it. But we grow these here, we start them in small pots like we've shown you in another video, and then we enlarge them to a landscape size where we can actually plant them for customers just like you. As you can see in the background here, we've got some Hydrangea Limelight. Hydrangea Limelight is another one that grows well here for us, gets a big bloom head on it, and is a nice shrub that'll get 4 to 5 foot out in front of your house. So we start them small and then grow them onto larger sizes with a lot of different varieties. What we do is we take each of these plants. These we bought at this stage. Some we make cuttings of. These are rooted cuttings, little plugs. But what we do is we take these and you beat up that root a little bit to get it out of the pot. That's kind of good. You want to break up the roots in the root mass so they don't keep circling around. And then we use this compost, which we would scoop up and put in here. And we call it up canning or potting up. But depending on the size of the plant and how big and how fast it grows, we put it in a larger pot. You want to keep it just slightly below the top of the pot so there's room to water in, but you want it at the similar height to what it was before. So this would allow you to buy smaller plants, grow them on if you're going to grow them. But that's about the way we want it, and then we water that. And they're going to be watered every day, even Saturday and Sunday around here, when they're this small. Now what we've got is a flat of tiny persimmon trees. You can kind of see the roots coming out of the bottom. I'm going to set this flat back down. Again, it's okay to beat them up if you're going to put them right back in good soil and water them in good. Look at that, we've even got a worm in there. You can tell that the plants really like these pots. So what we do is we'll take this plant, we'll put her in a bigger pot, and then given another year, what we'll end up with is another persimmon tree. And you can see they're rooted in here. This is a weed in here, we don't want that. But we got a persimmon tree here now that one I showed you earlier was from a seed. That was a year ago. We planted it. Then we've got a little plant. This is another year's growth. So this is a persimmon tree, and this is about the size that we'll plant out in the nursery field at our tree farm here this fall. These are a group of Norway and white spruce, Picea abies, Picea glauca. These are trees we got this spring bare root. They just came in boxes. They were dug early this spring up in Michigan, brought down to us, and then we potted them up in pots, and we will plant them this fall. We want to have a real nice, good root system in our heavy clay soil to be able to transplant out into the field. So now we're going to go out and I'm going to show you those spruce as they get larger and the persimmons that we looked at earlier. So this is a persimmon, beautiful tree earlier in the year, shiny foliage. It's going to begin producing fruit when it gets to be about this size, so we should have some fruit here possibly this fall. Does get some disease on the leaves, but we don't mind that. But this is how big they get when we're going to transplant these about this size. So this is probably 15 foot, where I showed you some littler that we started from seed. This has probably been in the process, I would guess, 8 to 10 years from seed to this size. And a neat thing to look at is here's one a whole lot smaller. Believe it or not, this was planted the same year. The same seed batch. Came off the same tree. But see how much smaller it is? What's interesting is trees are made genetically a lot like people in that we're all different. Some get big, some stay little. And what that does is help us decide where the best place for that plant might be. If we want a big plant, we have a big space, we're going to use a larger tree and one that grows faster. This is a white spruce. Actually, this is one we grew from the seedlings I showed you earlier. This tree has probably been here about 7 years. We had it in container for one. They grew it in the field for 2 years before we got it. So we're 10, 11 years old to this stage. That's all the scoop I have for you today on nursery trees. I'm Dan Gluesenkamp here at Designscape Horticultural Services in Nashville, Indiana.